How's it going, guys? It is about 45 hours before our shipment arrives to America, and here we have Saito from Shintaro Koi Farm starting to pack up tosai. A little bit of yellow in that water there. It's a chemical called albugen. It's a little bit of a de-stressor. So these koi are literally packed 2 days before the shipment. Some beautiful tancho Sankei and regular tancho. These were hand selected for us by Shintaro Koi Farm. I'm really lucky to have 2 boxes of these fish. He's had these in a net cage separate from all the other tosai, and they were shipped separately as well. 2 full boxes of tosai, tancho Sankei, and just regular tanchos. This is in the new koi house where he keeps the tosai. Actually, no, this is in the lower tosai house, actually, just below where they're packing the fish. And he's going to head up now to the main area where they're packing the koi. Get them in a bowl, transfer the water. As you can see, there's a lot of snow on the ground. The snow's taller than the trucks. I've walked through those greenhouse doors many times, and it's a thrill every time we do it. I've never been there on shipping days, but I'd love to be. So just take a look at all those beautiful tanchos. They're all here available at the farm. All right, so as they start packing the fish, they have to get all the labels on them, load them into the trucks, and make their way down to where they meet to ship all the koi to meet the main truck. Just so much snow. I've been there in the winter when there's no snow, and I've been there when there's more than that. So it's a cool sight to see. I think Shintaro Koi Farm had over 50 or 60 boxes on this shipment, and they do it all out of that koi house. And there's not these big packing facilities or anything like that. Just the small little setup, bagging the koi outside, filling them up perfectly, and getting them on their way. There's Kosuke. Kosuke is the youngest son who's going to be taking over the farm one day. Kosuke was actually in New Jersey for one of the shipments a few years ago. Beautiful Sankei here. Yeah, so Kosuke's been on both sides of the shipment now. He's packed koi in Japan and also has received them on the other side in New Jersey. Really cool experience for Kosuke to be on that side of the shipment as well. He was a big help when he was out here. So now this is a over 90 cm Sankei. They have to lift it in the bowl. They'll let the fish settle in there for a little bit, make sure there's no bleeding from the gills, and then they'll transfer her into another bag and box. That fish barely fits in the bowl. They got her bagged up. Some of these big fish, they triple bagged just to make sure if there's any thrashing going on in the bags that they don't rip them. Another Sankei that is making her way into the bagging area. A beautiful fish. Being that it is winter in Japan and winter in New Jersey, it is a great time for shipping koi, as long as the weather cooperates. Unfortunately enough, we had clear skies in Japan and clear skies in New Jersey, so it's a great travel day for the fish. So, just a stressful time for the breeders, shipping all these koi, packing 40 to 50 boxes of koi. So much time goes through the time that you put air and put the rubber band on the first fish by the time you get the last one done. Most of the time we're packing all the tosai first, get that out of the way, and then the big fish last. Now they'll bring this out, put it right in the box that the fish is going to ship in. They'll put the label that actually has that fish's name on it, the size, everything like that. And they're going to put so much air in there and maximize that box completely to make sure there's plenty of oxygen. They'll check the water. If they need a little bit more water in there, they'll top it off. Each box has a predetermined weight. That bag that Saito has in his hand is a chemical called Alfish. It removes the ammonia from the water while it's in shipment. So he'll pop that in there, and then they'll go ahead and air that bag up and get it tied up. Now these fish, the big fish, they travel really, really well. They all came in, the water was nice and clear, and being that it's cold, I was impressed in the condition that all the koi arrived in. I was really happy with it. And just a stressful day for the fish and the breeders. I mean, they were asking constantly, have the fish arrived yet? Have the fish arrived yet? What's going on? How's the first box look? And just really cool to see how much passion there is in both sides of the industry. Another important thing for shipping is that bag liner. If the bag was to break, these are packed on an airline cargo. All the boxes are together. If there was an issue or a bag broke, that bag liner is going to protect the rest of the water getting onto all the other boxes. So really important part. You can see they're just topping it up just enough to cover the gills and just a little bit of the back of the fish. If you don't have enough water in there, the fish is going to thrash around pretty much the whole shipment. So yeah, that one is triple bagged. So important to clear all the wrinkles out, tie it up with rubber band. There's Kosuke throwing the label on the box. So that'll say Shintaro Sanke, Gosai, and just so they know, each box has to have a label, specifically how many fish are in that box. For the government, for the paperwork, we have to put exactly the amount of koi that are coming in on the shipment. If we're off by just a few, it's a problem. So you can see how tight the bag is, really maximizing the oxygen for their long journey. These guys are pros. They've been tying koi bags their whole lives just to see how good they do it. And when the fish arrive here, you can't even get the rubber band off the bag. It's how tight they tie the boxes. So. All right, so this Showa that Saito's after right now, this is a special fish for me. I actually bought this fish 4 years ago on my first trip to Japan as a Tosai. Now it's 5 years old. It's a gorgeous Showa, one of my favorite fish, but I actually sold it this trip, and it's one of our customers, but this was one of my fish in my personal collection, so I hate to see her go, but I'm happy she's going to a good owner in a really nice pond. But beautiful Showa, bought as a Tosai. It was really fun for me on my first time. Tim Waddington helped me pick it out from Quality Nishiki-goi, and I was really excited to see her here at home. I mean, every time I visit Japan, I enjoy seeing that koi, and now it's in one of my tanks here on the farm. But just crazy the size that they get over there, and how quick they get it. And it's in a short amount of time. Always been exciting going and seeing fish for the Azukari service that we do. She's not liking being in the bag right now, but they'll check her before they put the rest of the water in. Right over to the box, and they'll air her up. Once they get in the box and get enough water in there, they settle in nicely. Securing the owlfish on the top of the bag. Here we are at the main trucking area. So they met pretty close to Shintaro's house this time, and all the breeders meet there to load the boxes. That's Kosuke loading the truck right there. That's the Shintaro family minivan. That's the car that when we go out to dinner or something, they pick us up in. All hands on deck during these shipments. They had to bring 40, 50 boxes down to meet the truck, so a lot of boxes of koi. I think, can't see the side of that truck. Maybe that's Yamasan. They're getting his boxes in. Or actually, that's Ikarashi Ozumi getting the boxes in. We got a lot of Tosai from him this shipment. So we actually had 2 trucks of this size make it all the way from Niigata area down to Haneda Airport. So once the fish are in here, it's actually a 5-hour ride from Niigata all the way to Haneda, and they have to get to the airport 6 hours before the flight to get packed onto the cubes and into the plane. See those 2 big boxes over there on the right? Those are some massive Hiyatsuri from Shinoda. Now the truck driver is making sure all the labels are on the boxes to make sure that there's no issues once he gets to the airport. Every box needs a label. We can't leave anything out. All the paperwork has to be perfect. So this truck has to go down there, and about 36 hours from here, these koi will be home in New Jersey. So they actually spend more time on the ground in Japan than they will spend in the air. So it's a little crazy to think about. The flight is 12 hours, but just the prep work, getting them all set up on the airplane, that's one of the biggest problems. And not problems, just the biggest time taker. You know, it's these fish have to they're getting exported from the country, then we have to import them all within hours. So if you ever dealt with customs and that kind of stuff, you know exactly what that's like. It's a long process, but thankfully the agents on both sides are very cooperative, knowing that we're dealing with live fish. So 2 trucks of this size, all the way down to Haneda Airport and right over to JFK. So really exciting. And we're just hoping they all arrive in good condition. So check back for the unboxing video. It's going to be great. A little snowy, but not a problem for these trucks. Off to Haneda Airport. Stressful day for me. I'm up all night, and stressful day for the breeders as well. Alright guys, well don't forget to check out the unboxing video. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, there's the second truck pulling out. Unbelievable. 2 trucks. We've never had that before. Only 1 normally.